This happened today and I just can't get it out of my head, which is why I decided to share this to you guys. I'm currently visiting my grandma and she lives in a small town with just a couple hundred people in it. I do a small hikes daily here. We used to do them together, but because of the sunny weather today, she decided to stay home. Everything was going as usual, and I decided to do a small hike along this little path through the woods that my grandma had recommended to me. I also like to use these short moments of alone time to smoke a little while enjoying the landscape. So I did smoke a little. After about 1.5 hours of walking, something happened. I saw a man about 60 meters away from me walking in my direction. This is not a very popular hiking trail, so it's actually quite rare to see somebody else, especially with these weather conditions. Everything still seemed normal at this point. As he came closer, I noticed him really staring at me as I awkwardly broke and re-entered eye contact. The closer he came, the more tense I felt. I have to add, I'm a man and I can definitely defend myself. I met a few other people on this path before where everything was and felt completely normal. This one was different. As I walked past him, I noticed a strange grin on his face. He had really bad teeth and was quite tall, and he walked in a way that really unsettled me. It was kind of awkward, and I decided to break the silence and said, "Hello." He didn't answer right away, but I could hear a very silent mumbling as he passed me. I don't really know how to describe this, but I felt like something was just off about him. I could just tell. I felt him looking at me after we were about 10 meters away from each other. So I turned around and I absolutely caught him staring at me and not even walking, just standing there. He quickly turned around as if he didn't want me to notice that he was still watching. Remember, I smoked a J about 20 minutes earlier, so this all really freaked me out. I tried to put it aside as paranoia from the weed. After about 20 minutes of following the trail, I noticed that I'm walking into a dead end because I previously took a wrong turn. So I had to turn around, the exact way that strange man from earlier went. I decided to pull myself together and distract myself with some music as I headed back. But I just couldn't get that previous encounter and the fact that I had to go in his direction again out of my head. I kept walking for about 40 minutes. At this point, I thought to myself that the chances of meeting him again were slim and that I should just focus on getting home, as I began feeling very tired from the constant sun. I also had this thought: no one would ever find me here, which is a very scary concept in my opinion. I was making progress, but then I saw someone sitting on a small bench right next to the path. It was him. I felt like I was in a goddamn horror movie. Thoughts rushed through my head. Did he wait for me? Did he know about the dead end and knew that I will have to head back? I was kinda panicking, but I decided to keep my cool. The bench was placed in a way that he could not see me yet, but would have a perfect look at me facing my back when I would walk past him. As I came closer, my heart began to beat in a way it didn't in years. The kind like you just ran a marathon and came through the finish line. I was freaking out. As I came closer, he noticed me and began looking at me over his shoulder. And there it was again, that same grin he gave me earlier. I had goosebumps. I kept walking at a normal pace and didn't go a second without looking behind me as I walked past. He kept staring in a strange way. He was just so creepy and I had this fear that he would suddenly get up and chase me. After he kept looking right into my soul, I started slowly jogging, which turned into a sprint. I ran as quickly as I could until I could not see him anymore. Going home, I could not get all of this out of my head. This really startled me. Please don't write this off as a misjudgment because I smoked weed earlier. This was real. There was something not right with him. I could just sense it. I have never felt this way about anyone I have ever met. This is a real story and I will not forget this encounter anytime soon. Somehow I can't brush off this thought that maybe I was really lucky today. I am a young woman posting this here because I need some advice regarding two strange encounters I had with a man in my neighborhood recently that have left me a little shaken up. The first encounter happened yesterday when I walked my dog later than usual in the evening because I had arrived home later than usual that day. As I was waiting for the light to change to across the street, a man approaches us and says, "She is beautiful. Can I pet?" I thanked him for the compliment and gave him the go-ahead to pet my dog because many people in my neighborhood have asked the same question before, so I didn't think anything of it. But instead of petting my dog, he decides to place his hand on my shoulder and upper arm area. He starts rubbing the area up and down and goes, "I was talking about you," with a smile on his face. At this point I was frozen. I didn't know what to do, and I was quite frankly scared of how he was going to react if I rejected him or showed that I was feeling uncomfortable. Looking back at it, I really should have told him to not touch me and that I'd call the police, but I was just too scared in the moment. I couldn't think properly. He asked for my name and I gave him a fake one. Fortunately, another man passed by and started crossing the street, so I snapped out of it, quickly crossed the street behind him. Once I was far enough, I started sprinting with my dog around the block, making sure he wasn't following me, before I finally headed home. The second encounter happened this afternoon as I was going on my afternoon dog walk. I had no idea the same man was behind me the entire time I was walking my dog. I thought it was just a random man trying to pass by and that I was in his way. But then I realized it was the same man from yesterday. I have no idea if he was actually following me or if he just happened to be headed in the same direction. But this time he starts trying to strike up a conversation with me. I quickly called my sister and pretended that she was waiting for me around the corner. I had her on FaceTime with me as I started speed walking. As soon as I noticed he wasn't near me anymore, I began running home. I'm not exactly sure where he lives, but I believe he resides somewhere in my neighborhood. I have spoken to my close friends about this, and they are concerned. They think this isn't the first time he has seen me before. It is just the first time he's made direct contact. They suggested that maybe he's been watching me for a while to learn my routine. This possibility has honestly unsettled me a bit. Am I overreacting? Could he just have been headed in the same direction as me? Do you have any advice on what I should do the next time if he tries to approach me again? This happened literally yesterday, and I honestly don't think I've fully processed it yet. I'm a 19 girl and my friend Sammy. We were biking home at around 3 a.m. on a dimly lighted street right next to our house. On one side was forest, pitch black beyond the tree line, and on the other side were a bunch of houses. From far away we spotted a red car with one broken headlight parked ahead. As soon as we got closer, the car started moving past us very slowly. They made a U-turn and drove past us again. Even in the dark, it was obvious we were two girls alone at night, so we put some space between us and them. As soon as we got to the sidewalk, we noticed the girl standing partially hidden behind a white truck, watching that same red car. The car was creeping towards her. Then, she ran off, running up the sidewalk and turning into a bike path that cuts through the forest. Immediately, two men got out of the car and followed her in. I live next to the forest. I know how dark it gets. No one walks that path without a flashlight unless they have a reason, and even then, it was 3 in the morning. The slow footsteps, the bucket hat guy, The way the car disappeared, it all just felt wrong. We reached the pass entrance and saw the red car just waiting there. The driver, a guy in a white bucket hat, looked straight at us, then speed away far down the street. The pass was pitch black. We walked in, fence on one side, dense forest on the other. That's when I noticed it. Slow, deliberate footsteps, keeping pace with us. Definitely not an animal, heavy enough to be a person. We kept walking until my friend spotted the girl ahead of us. She shined her flashlight and called out, "Hey, are you okay?" The girl looked over her shoulder, started for a moment with this unreadable, creepy expression, and then took off running deeper into the darkness. We called the police as soon as we got back to the street. Within minutes, 3 police cars arrived. They asked questions, and one ghost car drove down the forest pass. About 5 minutes later, they returned and showed us a photo of the girl. The cops said they found her with one man, which made no sense because less than 10 minutes earlier, we had seen her completely alone and running away. They also said neither of them would identify themselves or explain why they were there. Then they brushed us off, saying we could go home now. As we walked away, we saw 3 people get into a police car, which made it even weirder, because earlier they said there was only one guy with her. So, was really someone following us in the woods? I keep thinking, what if this was trafficking bait? Maybe the only reason they didn't go after us was because we started screaming. Either way, I can't stop replaying it in my head.